Released to celebrate Ultraman's jump to 4K, Ultraman Discovery aimed to reach new crowds and capture the eyes of a new generation. With a 4K transfer of Ultraman being announced back at G-Fest 30, it's no surprise Discovery made its way to the US beforehand, from the wonderful people at Alliance Home Entertainment. With this set being a sneak preview to the future of Ultraman home media, how does it look? And more importantly, is it worth the purchase? Today, we'll be finding out. As usual, the equipment I use will be in the description. Always remember, different equipment will produce different results. The 4K discs included are region-free, so you shouldn't have any issues playing them. If you have any questions on this release, be sure to leave a comment, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the review. Starting with video, we get a 4K image with HDR10 support. As a whole, I was heavily impressed by the quality of the image. To get the one negative I have out of the way, some of the compositing shots do not take well to the new resolution. There are some moments here where it looks pretty rough, though I will say that these are few and far between, and for the most part, barely ever to a point of distraction. Getting past this, for a majority of the runtime, the image is crystal clear, to a point where you almost feel as though you're on the set itself. The suits and special effects look stunning, and while the imperfections that were previously hidden rear their heads more often, such as wires and wear and tear on the suits, I found these instances didn't majorly affect the overall enjoyment of the segments. The colors here pop, with the 60s color palette making for a visual delight. You really notice this during the day sequences, where the world truly comes to life with gorgeous blues and greens. Some of the more scenic and cinematic episodes really benefit, with the Monsters Graveyard sunset sequence being a visual showstopper. Blacks look great, though I do wish at times they were deeper. Much of my compliments for the classic footage carries over into the newly shot scenes, and I'm happy to say that as a whole, the image is super clean and detailed. There isn't a ton going on, but you get a nice sense of depth with the theater set, with the colors having a deep richness that any theater goer would be familiar with. As a whole, I really am impressed with the image here. I've always thought these Showa-era kaiju projects benefit the most from the jump to 4K, and Ultraman Discovery is no different. Getting to audio, we have both Japanese and English DTS HD 2.0 audio tracks. I primarily watched the special with the English dub, so before we delve into that, let me touch on the Japanese track. For the most part, I'd say the Japanese audio is solid. You'll need to keep in mind this audio is coming from a 60s TV show, so it's not going to be crystal clear. The sound has a nice punch, and for the most part, everything gels well. My only complaint is that I feel the dialogue and music can be a bit light at times, especially during the actual Ultraman episodes. Past that, I'd say it's what I expected. For the newly recorded dub, I was very happy with the results. The audio is clear, and everything melds together well. They're going for a Saturday morning cartoon vibe, and I think it works fantastically. Charles Martinet does an incredible job as the narrator, really tying the whole thing together. You may also recognize a few returning voice actors from Shin Ultraman, with Jordan Rulin's return as Mephiles being a welcome surprise. Frank Todaro as Ide stole the show anytime he was on screen. He kills it, and really embodies the character. My only issue with the direction is for the voices of the various children. Some of it works, but a good chunk of the voices sound just a bit too old for the parts being portrayed. I honestly didn't know what to expect with this dub, but when it comes to both the quality and direction, I am ecstatic with the final results. Whether you watch this subbed or dubbed, you'll be in for a great time. For special features, you'll be getting a trailer, and that's it. The prior Ultraman releases from Mill Creek didn't come with much, so it doesn't surprise me that the trend continues here, even after a name change. It definitely would have been cool to get more, but what are you gonna do? For packaging, it does the job. The overall presentation is super sleek. The cover art is simple yet effective, and I love the art they chose for the discs. I do wish that they included a booklet like most of the prior Ultra releases, especially with the lack of special features. It could have allowed for some interesting context of what Ultraman Discovery is and the goal of its creation. Past that, though, if you've bought any Ultraman Blu-rays in the past, you'll know what to expect. So, is this worth the purchase? As I discuss my final thoughts, I want you to keep a figure in mind. $70 USD. I think both the image and audio of this release are fantastic. The new dub is awesome and will make fans of the show very happy. The selection of episodes allow you to enjoy some of the best adventures from the original series, with the best quality they've had on disc. I found the newly included segments to be charming, and while I wouldn't say it's anything to write home about, I'm happy to have seen them play out. The lack of special features is disappointing, but was expected to some degree. In total, you are getting close to half the show on disc. But this is where things start to fall apart. It was announced prior to this release that the full Ultraman show was going to make its way to 4K in 2026. Based on the price of this release, I'd estimate it'll come in anywhere from 180 to 200 USD. Are you catching the issue yet? As much as I appreciate the new segments, you are paying for almost half the show before the whole thing gets released, not even a year later. I don't blame them for making this its own release. It'd be just about impossible to release the specials completed without jumping through massive hoops due to the episodes used for each. But at $70, it's not a cheap purchase. While I appreciate the forwardness from Alliance, they essentially shot themselves in the foot revealing this. So, who is this release for? Well, most obviously Ultraman fans, as well as kaiju fans looking to preserve a piece of history. I really like Ultraman, and I like having niche kaiju media in my collection, so this worked out well. But for the average Joe, I just can't recommend this, even with the quality of it. It makes for a good way to introduce someone to Ultraman, sure, but you could also buy the Blu-ray set for $20 and just skip to the best episodes. I have a feeling for most people, you'll know if you want this set or not, and I recommend following your gut. Thanks for making it to the end of the review. If you have any questions on this release, or if you want to share your own thoughts, be sure to leave a comment. Also be sure to show your support by leaving a like, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell to see more from me. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Tobisatsu, and I hope that you have a great day.